So, about a week after I got home, I decided to hop on GTA and play a few games trying to warm back up into it. This is my second or third day playing this hellhole again, and I just wrapped up my first PvP encounter after a while, which went pretty well. Nothing too crazy, just got orbed like 5 times and did a few cool things, and then I called it a day after they left the game. Anyways, I hop into this new lobby, hoping to just chill out, fly around, and see if I can get in trouble, the usual. And I immediately recognize some guys with the tags AOR from when I used to run with less friendly people. Granted, I barely even remember if they were friendly, bad guys, or whatever, so I decided not to pay them much mind. Now immediately I'm a little sketched out because this guy starts chasing me right out of my hangar. But I'm in a pyro and he's in a laser, so it seems like both of us have at least enough sense that he's never going to catch me. I don't worry about it too much, just head for the towers to see if he's going to come right at me. Then I notice there's another jet flying around the city, so I think, oh, he's just going to kill that guy. Maybe they got their own little disagreement. Sure enough, AOR guy comes streaking down from the heavens, guns a-blazing, going for this other dude in the jet. Probably never would have intervened if not for the fact that I realized the other guy in the jet was in a Bezra. And every flyer in GTA knows that the Bezra is on the list of endangered species you're just not allowed to shoot at. So I immediately moved to avenge this Bezra in a swift and decisive manner. After Swiss cheesing the laser till it popped, I started fucking around with this other sparrow that was flying around shooting missiles at people. After about my 20th time missing a free fire on it, his buddy in the same crew decided to go ghost org, which we all know what that means. And I immediately climbed for the clouds, my usual tactic for waiting out ghost org jets, since there's no way they can really catch you in a pyro up there. Probably would have had an easy time blowing up the green guy in his jet if not for suddenly realizing that the dude from before was now sitting in his facility. Immediately it became pretty clear what kind of fight this was going to be. See, I 1-0'd the guy in his jet, and for those of us that don't get high off the scent of paint, that doesn't really mean anything. But to them, basically means they have to commit seppuku within their crew if they don't get their kill back. And get his kill back he did via way of orbital cannon, meaning I had gotten orbed 6 times since coming back from basic. Anyways, this man sets me back a whole 5 seconds because I immediately pull out my pocket pyro and climb back up into the air. He decides to go ghost org as well, and I'm immediately anticipating a jet coming from where his facility is, Zancudo. So of course I start climbing in the air again. But I'm suddenly surprised to already see his jet a speck behind me, catching up fast. My immediately thought being probably a Hydra. But as I looked at the silhouette a little closer and I flew away, suddenly came to this pretty solid realization. Oh dude, he's in a pyro. Now I straight up hadn't had a pyro dogfight in about 2-3 months. And to be completely honest, I was pretty nervous and rusty because I had no idea how good this guy was. But knowing these PvP crews, if they took anything but a laser, it usually means they felt a lot safer and more powerful when using the aircraft. I mean, this guy probably had some experience under his belt. But hey, I'll never turn down a pyro dogfight. So happily I whipped the nose around and merged with this guy. But off the bat, it was clear the guy kinda knew what he was doing. Definitely a lot more than I seemed to, because I was actively trying to remember how to thrust technique in the middle of this turn fight. Now to the corner of my eye, I spot the sparrow guy from earlier coming at us in some kind of jet. My immediate thought is he's the priority given the fact that he's neither a laser or a Hydra, much more of a threat and a furball than a mother pyro. As soon as it's clear he's approaching us, I decide to prioritize him as a target. And suddenly it becomes what I think is a 3-way furball because I'm not sure if he's going to be friends yet. I decided to take a little easy on the Hydra at first and see if he'll maybe kill the other pyro for me. But it seems pretty clear he's not really interested in the other guy, and mainly just wants to kill me given the fact that I almost blew him up earlier. So I finally just focus him and he pops, leaving me back to my turn fight with the other pyro. This, however, is relatively short-lived, because Hydra Sparrow guy decides to come after us on a Mark II. Given that I'm not really confident in the turns right now, my best plays against the other pyro are going to be stalls, things I can't do while there's Mark II missiles after me. so I decided to take the dogfight as far away from Mark II as I can. Make it a little ways, but I'm also brought to a realization that the pyro chasing me is a hanger pyro, meaning he's a bit faster than my pocket pyro in terms of the spawn. So running away is going to be a no-go, meaning I got no choice but to turn fight this guy. Mark II missiles included in that. Bringing the nose back around, we're in a high-speed turn fight just above the water. Pretty cool for the few seconds that it lasts, and then he decides to do some weird spinning maneuver and, I guess that's the end of that. After putting an annoyed free fire up the Mark II guy's ass when he tries to, I think, explosive round me, I decided to leave them to their lonesome and go look for the other green guy. See, in the meantime of me fighting orange and purple, this guy Platinum Waffle, who I'd met in an earlier heli stream, had actually joined the game and was helping me out, going after the other green guy in AOR. Fortunately, I can't really go over there and support them, given that they're both off the radar, so I decided to fly around the city and see if anything comes at me. But lo and behold, I come to two new conclusions. One, the orange and purple guy are definitely friends. And two, they're sitting on each other's lap in a brand new pyro that's headed my way. But I'm a little warmed up, and the interruption is now in the co-pilot seat of the enemy pyro, so I'm more than happy to take this dogfight on now. Now it's a solid turn fight. I'm feeling a lot more like myself and a lot more confident in these turns with my thrust techniques. Once he starts losing, he starts flying in this weird spiral, something that's actually pretty effective in terms of giving another pyro a hard time getting shots on. But he becomes victim to my secret technique of just not being a dumbass and slowing down, so he just ends up with my gun sight. And besides getting a pretty decent stall that I totally fall for, the guy's pretty clearly losing the dogfight. Once I'm guessing his engine dies, he decides to high streak, pretty comedically leaving his buddy in a dying plane headed for the ground. During that fray, our buddy Platinum also managed to get a kill on the other AOR guy, leaving them both pretty pissed off now. So they both high storm to Polito, and I catch back up with Waffle in his Hydra. Unfortunately, my mid-air high five goes pretty badly because I'd already taken some damage and it pushed me just over the edge, so I had to go land and get a new pyro. Waffle charged headfirst into a manned Avenger, which took him out pretty quick and he had to high storm, leaving me to head over there alone. But this wasn't too big of a deal for me, because I didn't really need to go towards that Avenger. I knew the pyro would come towards me after what happened earlier. Sure enough, he heads away from his Avenger buddy and comes in for round 3. Shortly, however, after getting to the turns, he decides to run back over to the Avenger, seeing that the odds aren't looking too good. But not all of us are blood-crazed KD mongers, so I decided to just fly away and see what he'd do. He seemingly realizes that I don't really have any interest in flying towards a manned Avenger, and agrees that the two of us should settle this like men, or I guess 3 of us since he had a co-pilot. Once I'm on his tail, I'm catching him in all the turns. And then because my rust is starting to shake off where he's starting to lose his confidence after the second one, he starts panicking a little and making very bad stalls, flying much worse than he was before. And on one of these unlucky stalls, I finally get in a good position to punish him for it, leading to a very satisfying shootout. Once again, his buddy is left in a burning wreck headed towards Earth. I'm nothing of a score player, but I can't lie. It made me kind of smug knowing that 2-1 was eating him inside. And after this, he did something pretty interesting. Homeboy pulled out a Hydra, and he knew damn well how good the Pyro could turn and how badly the Hydra could turn. So that left only one conclusion that I pretty quickly came to. He intended to enact the dark art of Hydra sliding upon me. I dove in ready to meet my new opponent, breaking into the merge at about terminal velocity and getting into a wide circle with the guy. And just as he went into his first little rotation to try and get guns on, yeah, so there's a plot twist. See, believe it or not, guys, when you go around a lobby killing everything you see, the rest of the players start to get kind of annoyed. And in this case, this little brown CEO decided to help out me and Waffle against these assholes. And the fight went pretty damn well, because you pretty much had these two brown guys on the ground taking sniper shots and RPGs, while Waffle and I were tag teaming from the air. Which pretty much left the two AOR guys and their orange friend to do nothing but EWO in circles for a little while. And even when one of them managed to get an Avenger up, the guy from the Bezer earlier decided to get up at the Titan and lead to this little beautiful one here.
Commander, you don't have the firepower.
I've got the mask.
Solid copy. Hit 'em all, boys.
You're on your own, Noble. Corner out.
I wish I could say there's some pretty cool dogfights after this, but as I just told you, it was kind of a pub stomp. Besides this funny moment here, me almost getting hit by a low level in their helicopter, and a pretty cool hunter shootout. Nothing else really interesting happened in this lobby considering they all left. But yeah, that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching. Subscribe button exists, yada yada. You guys have a wonderful night.